When does pi equal 3? Now, I actually saw this question come up on a discussion board a while ago, and I'm honestly not sure whether the person who posted it was being serious or not. And just asking the question probably made all my mathematicians' friends' heads explode. So let me be clear. Pi is an irrational number. Its decimal version never ends and never repeats. See, that's where the trouble starts. If you're doing any kind of practical application, you need a decimal value. On the one hand, you can't go into your local home supply megastore and tell the guy in the garden department that you need 9 pi cubic yards of mulch. But on the other hand, if you try to do calculations with infinitely many decimal values, you're going to be here all day. So at some point, you're going to have to round that number, and that's where 3 comes back into the picture. So if you're at home, say, and you're making a circular flower bed in your backyard, you need to know how much mulch to buy, then you're going to need to know the bed's area. Well, if the radius is, let's say, 3 feet, then the area will be 3 squared times pi or 9 pi. Now, if you're at home and you're trying to do this in your head, substituting 3 for pi is a perfectly reasonable thing to do. And that gives you 27 square feet. And since you rounded the value of pi down, you maybe decide to get an extra bag just in case. Now, if you're doing a problem in a math class, you probably want to be a little more accurate than just a single integer. So in this scenario, two decimal digits, 3.14, yeah, that should be enough. In fact, if you ask most people what pi equals and they had an answer at all, this is the value they most likely dredge up from their vague memories of middle school geometry. And for most practical applications, yeah, that's going to be good enough. Finally, if you're an engineer or you work for NASA and you're making some kind of high precision machinery, well, then you probably already know all about round off error and significant figures and lots of other technical requirements. And you can figure out for yourself exactly how many digits it's going to take to get the level of accuracy that you need. So, to circle back to our original question, when does pi equal 3? Well, never and whenever it's convenient. So, if you're a teacher and you're watching this, you can start a conversation with your students about this by trying out different values. Do the same calculation using 3, 3.1, and 3.14 and compare the results. Right, to make it more concrete, you can assume you're paying for something by the unit. For example, $10 per square inch. And you can see how much the cost changes in each of those three cases. So if you found this content interesting, please take a second to click on the link below. And if you'd like to see more content like this, you can click on the subscribe link as well.